You got a loud cat.
Hey guys, it's me, host Eric, host Talking Finance People. I'm here with Las Vegas John, and today we're talking about the specific people whom we deem famous. We're going to start with Las Vegas John, who is a fairly recent arrival. And when people come in, I don't really consciously do anything about it, but my SINE nature says, first check to see how cool their bangs are. And I've determined that Las Vegas John doesn't have a whole set of particularly cool bangs. Okay, well he has the oh my goodness, look at those bangs, John. Now that see, if I had known that, I would have reevaluated from the get-go. Everyone, okay, well, see, I'm a trendsetter. Once I grew out my bangs here, there you go. All right, so anyway, we're banging it up here in Bangtown. I'm talking French people. That's right. I'm talking hairstyles. I'm talking Las Vegas John. I'm talking Susie. Talking Abraham. Talking Jewel. Talking Nick. And I want to start with Las Vegas John. So this is my experience as somebody who's done YouTube videos and been affiliated with the channel and stuff periodically. After I was affiliated with the channel and stuff. Thank you, darling. Um, I've seen people come and go. I've seen the community stay more or less kind of the same size without for long periods of time. About a room and a half's worth of people, you know. But the funny thing is, to do that, to have about a room and a half's worth of people, that's more or less off and on throughout the day. It requires a fair number of quite a cast of characters has to be involved. So I'm going to work backwards in my explanations about people here and start with people who came around most recently. That's why I wanted to start with Las Vegas John. He's one of the more recent arrivals that's a regular in the sense that's here often, like checks in a lot. You see, I think there's something about the medium that makes people check in periodically, or certain types of people.
Dude, I'll sit in here for like days.
Yeah, okay. Well, then that's yeah. In other words, yes, you're plenty hardcore. Okay, so yeah, I've talked to John on a number of occasions now, and it's a weird phenomenon because, and what made me stop to make this video is I was watching Nick and Jewel and Susie interacting with each other. I'm watching this video for 20 minutes, and at no point during this 20 minutes did any of the three of them ever mention me, which is great. It's like knowing that conversation is going on and that it's about that the community has within it its own engines of reality and of value that that just don't involve me at all, and that's fine and it's good because it's like it's supposed to be a an identity multi-tool more than anything else, where you go, okay, well, it's like a negative space identity multi-tool. It's like other people get to use ontological multi-tools on you. Anyway, that's not the point. So John and I have talked on many occasions. He likes to complain about shit sometimes. He's got like some tough luck story not that long ago past. It makes him kind of sad sometimes, but at the same time he's kind of happy sometimes. Depends on his mood, and you can see in him there's a lot of pain, and there's also it's a pain associated with it's called being a super smart intuitive. It fucking sucks until it doesn't suck anymore. Eventually, it doesn't suck anymore, but. I mean, you gotta really work on the bangs. It's not enough to have the hair, it's gotta look right. You gotta have the right look. Okay? Look, I don't got, you guys, I don't got time for your conformity. Anyway, that's not the point. Alright, so another person who is recent besides John?
Abe? I don't know.
No, Abe's old. Yeah, here's the other thing I'll say about John. John adjusted substantially. He did the normal EHP thing. He came in hard. I was coming hard too. And then you got to backpedal. Whoa. And I see the ontologically optimizing part of this thing operating on him right away because, of course, the more intuitive you are, I think the more it impacts your um, nature because meaning like ripples out like that. Other recent people, Josh hasn't been around here a super long time, has he? Um, he's kind of
No,
nutty.
he was here before I did.
What's that?
He came here before I did. I think a couple of days,
Who's
maybe.
who's the super loud one?
Jewel. Is it loud right now? There's some background noise.
There's a fan in the background or like a radiator.
It's
Yeah, that's
Nick.
good.
Okay. So anyway, so yeah, Josh came around. Josh is kind of nuts. He was kind of crazy, more crazy when we first came in. Again, the optimization engine starts to work on him. When new intuitives like that, especially introverted intuitives, although I'm not sure if he's really introverted, but whatever he is, when do they really get a chance to have social interaction with people who both interact with them on shit that they're interested in potentially, and tolerate their horrible FE, and tell them how to fix their horrible FE with weirdly effective metaphysical TE. Well, here you can do that. It's talking to famous people. You can come in with bad FE and not get shunned, but instead get fixed. It's an all pie treatment. So not only
yes, because FE is something that needs to be fixed. Is that what you're saying,
Yes, Abe, you need to be fixed.
Eric?
no, Abe, what I'm saying is that if you have exceedingly poor FE, then you make other people feel
Poor,
uncomfortable. And that should be
poor,
avoided if one can do so.
poor FE. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So Josh is an example of somebody who came in with very poor FE, and it's getting better. Is he a ENFJ yet? No. He's probably a ways from being an FE dom. But he's getting better. And he's got that kind of cool New York Jew thing going on. Plus he's homosexual. That's good for diversity. Everybody likes diversity. He wears a small.
I would love to hear what Eric has to say about every person here.
I'm doing it right now. He wears a small in terms of shirt size. He's got a disabled brother who he takes care of. And he's got a self-determined alternating state of manicness and not so manicness that he just needs to just be like meow about it and then just be like pya and be done with it. At least tell yourself the other narrative. Don't tell yourself pathologizing narratives. Tell yourself depathologizing narratives. Good advice. That's my prescription for you.
Depathologized. What the?
Okay. Next person on the list. Liz.
Liz.
She's wild, she's woolly, she's from Canada, but that doesn't make her Sasquatch. She's Liz. I gave Liz a free copy of my paper today because it was modeled after her and her Canadian ISCP friend Pierre. The point being, Liz is kind of crazy. She has one baby talking about sex, and how she's like, I was walking down the street the other day and I saw this dude and he had his throbbing member. And I ran up to it and I had sex with it really quick. Except then it turned out to be a pole.
Member.
And I was like, oh no, that's just a pole. Anyway, but that's okay. I love it. It was very much like that, kind of a youthful over-aggrandizement of the physicality of sexual intercourse. And she talked about being very sexually, what's the word? Being the predator, playing the role of being the player. She's being the player kind of thing. Anyway, one time I made a video of her, like a bunch of clips of her saying ridiculous shit like that, like, "Ooh, I want to, oh yeah," like how I would call now.
And she was the one calling me creepy? What the hell?
Talk to hot young girls. Call now. They have those kind of commercials. Well, it was a slight element of that. I think was a little bit, but since then she's been optimized, of course, by talking with famous people, and that I don't think that's necessarily how she is or who she is. I think it was her display, and I think that watching oneself, one realizes the excesses of one's own display. As I have plenty of times, I can't seem to cure myself of them, by and large. There's lots of excesses, like the amount of time I spent talking, but I've kind of resigned myself to it as well. That's what I'm making a video about, what I gotta say, so whatever. Anyway, Liz, yeah, I like Liz a lot. I didn't like Liz at all at first, and now I like her a lot. I think she's cool. She's saucy, she's sassy, she's Sasquatch drinking sassafras. She's Liz, and she's from Canada. She's 22 years old. Oh my god.
Are you going to?
Eric,
Eric, what do you want, Abe?
What do you mean? What do you want, Abe? What does that tone mean?
Can anybody hear me?
What does that tone mean?
I want a warm apple
I
pie.
said what? What? I'm making a fucking video. What?
He left.
Oh, please. Fucking hurt feelings. Jesus Christ.
Is that on this?
The beauty of
this one?
nature.
It kind of looks like a vagina.
Really?
Good to know.
It says, get everything you ever wanted to know about squirting. Anyway,
So what's this video about?
that's
He's
not
talking
it.
Everybody-
about famous people.
We're
Okay.
talking about Fairfield. So anyway, Liz is cool. I like her. She's a young ENFJ who's mastering FE. Who are we moving on to after Liz? I was talking about
Cool.
no, not Jewel. Kato. I see Kato evolving like fuck. You know, I mean, he's getting more intuitive, less sensory in his displays of his in. And he's got some really good ideas too. Smart guy. Wrestling with
God, those cool people.
yeah, I think he was when he first arrived wrestling with his stark contrast against everybody around him and his inability to refine the more nuanced aspects of being an intuitive because he lacked good intuitive role models to help him manage that, you know, cascade of meaning planes.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Pie was delicious,
Carnival.
so I attribute that to him as well. The other thing I associate with him is pretty nice if you have this associated with you. Every time I think about Kato, I think, I'm rich. I'm the best. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest.
Mississippi Black Snake.
I'm the best. What are you doing, Kim? Okay, after Kato, anyway, Kato, there's a metaphysical fist bump for you, Kato. I didn't like you at first at all, either. Just like I didn't like Liz at first, I didn't like Kato at first. I put them in the same bucket as, hey, I don't like those two. They're too sensory. But turns out they're both cool and I'm a bit prejudiced or something. I don't know. Next, who are we talking about next? Let's see. I want to talk about.
Some people are going to get butthurt for not being mentioned here.
Yeah, I know. This is always dangerous.
Oh, not
Yeah.
host
This is
Mark.
dangerous.
Not host Mark's not recent, but not host Mark is. Well, I'll make more of these, you know. Not host Mark.
I came after Kato.
No, not host Mark's been here for a long time. I visited
He's been
not
here.
host Mark on the big trip way back when. I had Thanksgiving dinner with not host Mark.
Oh, Jeremy.
And with famous person, what's his name? And famous person, what's his name? Not host Mark and me. We went to Denny's and we had Thanksgiving dinner. Where did we go? Yeah, and then we went to a different place, right, for dessert or something. Or what happened?
Denny's twice.
We went to Denny's twice. Once wasn't enough. And I prayed. I told the prayer at the beginning of Thanksgiving dinner, which I appreciated. I was pretty in need of a little metaphysical, magical intervention. at that point, and of course, made me feel, had a good impact on me. It made me feel like somebody finally took that aspect of shit seriously. Now, Mark probably thinks I don't take it seriously enough, but I actually do. I just kind of talk not that seriously about it.
No, you did really good.
I appreciated that, and I've always found him a serious and responsible young man. That's exactly what I want to call you.
Cool.
Yes, Mark's a very serious and responsible young man. Give him my highest recommendation. I'm sure he won't. Also, I hope one day that, and not us, Mark, and I will go camping. As we planned to at one point, it fell through, and it's fine, but we still have it on the books as a potential thing. I like his level of intensity. You know which side of the argument he's on if it involves morality. He is not a relativist, and neither am I. In fact, I had an argument with my daughter today about abortion. Although she's so much like a debater, she said, okay, well, fine. So then how should I counter your argument? And I'm like, oh, well, you should say this. And I get everything else. It's the cat playing the question. Who's noisy pants?
Might be me.
It's Mark.
Oh, go ahead, Mark. Sorry, be noisy pants.
I talked to Audra earlier today about camping, and she'd be interested in going too. She'd travel out here. I don't know if we could meet up somewhere, but yeah.
I want to go camping. Kimberly wants to go camping, don't you, Kimberly? Mm-hmm. You want to go camp where we go fish? Or hunt? We could hunt.
You are not hunting anymore.
Oh, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, it's a reference to the fact that among the many other crazy things that talking with famous people have involved me in is I was wrongly suspected, let's say, of having illegally shot at a migratory goose with a 9mm Glock in Kansas when visiting Taylor. Now, as we all know, of course, the gun contained blanks, and the geese, if there were geese at all, were neither Canadian nor migratory nor geese. They were ducks, as I indicated in the video, at least twice. So,
and the guns are the things that shoot people.
well, yeah, but this one was just designed to make the sound of a gun for the purpose of making the video, like bang, bang, okay?
And it was obvious you stuck at hunting, so you will not be hunting.
You can't really see things obvious as second hunting. If I had, here's how you know it had blanks in it. If it had real bullets in it, there would have been a heap of dead geese at my feet.
Or not.
I'm a dead-eye shot. I could shoot a sparrow's eye at 10,000 miles.
Yeah.
This has derailed a long while ago.
Okay, thank you, Susie. Back on point. Okay, just because I can shoot a
Jeremy,
sparrow's
Chloe.
eye at 10,000 miles, that's a pretty freaky shot. Okay, so it is worth mentioning. Anyway, back to the people. So Audra is an interesting one. Audra has lots of things that are interesting to say, and I never hear them because every time I'm in the room and Audra's in the room at the same time, I'm talking. So shame on me. I have talked to her on a few occasions. She lives in some sort of magical New Mexico ranch land where there's prairie dogs pop up as you walk along, and you can shoot them like whack-a-mole with guns and cause them to fly up into the air. She also boxes. She's a writer. I believe she castrates bulls with her teeth.
Dude, she has a title.
She has
an official title. World Champion of Destruction or something like that.
She's Hodra as well, host Hodra. And, I mean, she's very Hemingway-esque in her life. She's got a good life. Hodra. All right, who else are we talking about? We
Jeremy, Chloe.
Cholo. Cholo's an interesting one. Cholo came in with wildly fluctuating NEFI kind of pseudo FE that they kind of splashed all over everybody a little bit, which is fine because as intuitives, we probably all come in either neurotic, um, excessively risk averse, or or unfiltered, excessively unfiltered, or
Fighty.
faggy. Is that what you said?
Faggy is one, but fighty.
Oh, fighty.
Yeah.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Fighty.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways in which we come in messed up. I think we all do. I think Cholo was pretty unfiltered, came in kind of squirting all over the place emotionally and or metaphysically or whatever. I think she's tightened up. I think it's optimized her as well. I don't think she's quite as all over the place, and I think she's much more appealing as a consequence, and I think she continues to optimize. I think we all do. It works, you know? It works if you work it.
And
Keep
it
coming
won't
back.
if you don't.
Yeah, that's right. Principles before personalities, guys. It's like an AA meeting, but half people are drinking or doing drugs. Which makes it much, much better than an AA meeting. I've been to a lot of them. They're pretty boring.
They're boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about their own problems
I don't know.
and how much they want to drink.
I thought some of them were pretty interesting.
One time I want to go and want to stand up in the middle of them and go, Jesus Christ, is this all you guys do is sit around and talk about drinking? Anyway, that's not the point. Speaking of non-drinkers, let me think if I can think of another non-drinker in the mix. No, I can't. I'll think of a drinker then. I know Jacob. St. Jacob. St. Jacob's a fairly recent arrival from my perspective. He's from Sweden. He's cool. He's very be very bright, very unaccustomed to arguing correctly about positions because in Sweden, like in China, they train their people to be dumb by teaching them ridiculous arguments that don't hold water, in which most of the populace apparently internalizes, or maybe they come up with it on their own. Like, yeah, everybody equal. Let's let them all in and rape us. Like in Swedes, no. Just because everybody is fundamentally equal in their rights doesn't mean that you coddle the shit out of barbarians. Duh. Anyway, Jacob's cool. I like him a lot. He said Jacob because he got drunk one time and he argued with me in his silly socialist positions and such. And that's how he got his sainthood. And then he came on the next day and hilariously tried to be like, so yeah, he was high, I was drunk. Like it was some equivalency to
Jesus, like
simply
dying over
me
here.
being as always, which is having recently smoked weed. But anyway, that was cool. If trial by that's the thing. That's what optimization requires. Sometimes you gotta make some mistakes and you gotta get called out for them, and you gotta realize, oh shit, I embarrassed myself. It happens to me all the time. Oh shit, I embarrassed myself again. Oh, well, at least I'm experienced with dealing with that phenomenon. I feel well prepared from past experience to deal with the phenomenon of embarrassing myself. It doesn't kill you, and eventually you start to realize how we're all human. And to the extent that we don't want to show or put out there our fragile and vulnerable bits, doesn't mean that they're not there. And to the extent that we have those vulnerable and whatever else I said bits, then it makes them less vulnerable and whatever to know that it's just part of the human experience to have areas of fragility and areas of accomplishment, areas of like I need to remediate that and lots of other shit like that. So, next person, then, who did I just talk about, or did I start talking about? We're about near the end of this video. I got like one more, and then the video link is done.
Have you met Jeremy? Have you met Esteban? Have you met Elsie?
Yeah, of course I met.
Elsie's old.
Elsie's super old. Steve,
Oh,
you know Steve? Is Esteban Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's funny. And who's the other one you mentioned? Who's the other one you mentioned?
Jeremy,
Jeremy?
curly hair guy.
Oh yeah, Jeremy's great. Jeremy's like a radio DJ. He is
He is,
quite
yeah.
polished. I'm very impressed with his thing. I think he's rubbing off on you a little bit, John. You're getting more polished the more you're around here. Steve, I don't know what to make of Steve. I haven't really talked to Jeremy a lot. He's a very bright guy. I had a fun conversation the other night when I rolled in the middle of the night and they were talking about meow, meow, meow. And I'm like, but yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're like, ooh. And I was like, ah.
Jeremy and I jumped on Kestrel the other night for his conspiracy theory, like thinking like we didn't land on the moon or anything like that. We had to break it all the way down to how to logic.
I'm sure Castro doesn't really believe that.
No, he does. He really does.
He does.
He really does.
He believes in what? That we didn't land on the moon?
Yep.
Among other things.
Among other things, like how like rockets can't fly in space.
Because there's no air.
The Earth is flat.
There's no air for the fire to push against. I like that explanation. Listen, obviously rocks can't fly in space. There's no air for the fire to push against.
Yeah.
Well, I believe I haven't landed on the moon. So Castro and I are in agreement about me.
No, Neptune. He was weaseling out of everything.
So, okay. Yeah, Jeremy, he seems very attentive to his delivery and display. Also in his thinking, he seems quite attentive. And who was the other homie we just mentioned? Oh yeah,
Kestrel.
Castro. I don't know what he looks like, so I don't know. I don't feel like I know him because I've never seen him. He's just an icon. And
I've seen him once. He's got wicked sideburns, or wicked like he's got like the white side on his hair. He looks like a radio broadcaster.
Well, with this new haircut, I look like a teen heartthrob.
Definitely.
And I feel like one too. However, that alone isn't enough to take you all the way to the promised land. It's going to take this hair, this hat, and some new teeth before I'm next America's new idol.
But you need
Is that
new
the end of
teeth?
the movie?
Oh yeah, that's the end of part one of this. On the next group of people, I'm going to talk about Neptune, maybe, who's here but got in too late for this action. This hot talk about action. That's the end of this one. It's almost 30 minutes of hot talk about action. That's a long video.
Add Annie to the list too. Annie is a new one, I think. She
Yeah.
hasn't been around much.
She's also a chat lurker for most.
Yeah.
Chat lurkers. Fucking chat lurkers. Don't be a chat lurker.
God.
There's nothing wrong with it, but you don't form
there's-
an identity. And
How old is she here? How long has she been here?
Who, Janelle? Quite some time.
Yeah.
She's been here quite some time. Oh, there's who we'll talk about next time? Ukraine Elaine. Talk a little about Ukraine Elaine. She's worth talking about. Talk a little bit about I don't know, whoever else I think about. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese and talk to your local stylist. This is the new look.